Tahan will be speaking about the parasha again, and afterwards we'll take your questions in the other half hour of the show. Please call us at 718-683-5858, 718-683-5858. The text number over here is 347-927-8398. Anybody that wants to ask questions afterwards or anytime during the week to our Bet Torah, the line is always open to ask. You could call us at 347-666-3467. You can text us, call us, or the other number is 718-964-7635. We'll start with the parasha, Parashat Mishpatim. In the end of the parasha, we're going back to Matan Torah, and over there, it comes to complete the story that we've been reading last week in Parashat Yitro. And over here, the parasha says that on the fourth day, when they were in Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu was asked by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to go up the mountain. Vayomer, ואל משה אמר, עלה אל אדוני, אתה ואהרון נדב ואביהו, ו70 מזקני ישראל, והשתחוויתם מרחוק. Not only that he should go, but rather, also נדב ואביהו, also Aaron, also 70 מזקני ישראל. But they are not going to be able to go all the way up to the mountain. They'll stop short. Moshe Rabbeinu will go all the way up. Later on, it says in the parasha what have happened over there. ויכתוב משה את דברי השם, והשכם בבוקר, ויבן מזבח, they build up a מזבח, ו12 מצבה ל12 שבטי ישראל, and so on and so forth. וישלח את נערי בני ישראל. נערי בני ישראל, Rashi says, that were the בכורות, the firstborns, and they were also, יעלו עולות, יזבחו זבחים, they brought all kind of sacrifices, שלמים לאדוני, פרים. Later on, when Moshe Rabbeinu goes up, ויעל משה ואהרון, נדב ואביהו ו70 מזקני ישראל. It says over here in the pasuk, ויראו את אלוהי ישראל, ותחת רגליו כמעשה לבנת הספיר וכעצם השמיים לתואר. ואל אצילי בני ישראל לא שלח ידו, ויחזו את האלוהים ויאכלו וישתו. הקדוש ברוך הוא got very angry over here. And the pasuk indicates that really הקדוש ברוך הוא should have killed them on the spot. אצילי בני ישראל. Why is that? ויחזו את האלוהים ויאכלו וישתו. Because when they actually saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they were busy eating and drinking. It says over here in Rashi, ויחזו את האלוהים, היו מסתכלים בו בלב גס, מתוך אכילה ושתייה. They were looking at HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the same time eating and drinking. That's not possible to do. How could they do such a thing? ויראו את אלוהי ישראל, says Rashi, נסתכלו והציצו ונתחייבו מיתה. They were supposed to die right then and there. Kadosh Baruch Hu should have killed them. Why didn't he? לא רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לערבב שמחת התורה. הקדוש ברוך הוא didn't want to make this very happy day into a sad day that people would die. Therefore, המתין לנדב ואביהו עד יום חנוכת המשכן. נדב ואביהו died at חנוכת המשכן, when they brought אש זרה לפני השם. זקנים died at the story ויהי העם כמתאוננים ותבער בם אש השם. And over here we see that you can't, while taking a look at HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now obviously when we're talking about taking a look at HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it doesn't mean that physically you can see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have a shape, and lo guf, and lo dmut haguf, doesn't have a shape, so therefore there's nothing to see. Rather, it means b'machazeh hanevuah, as the Mefarshim explain over here. They were able to get a prophecy, they saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So over here the Torah tells us that when a person gets prophecy, or when a person comes close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, at that time a person can't start eating, drinking, or take things easy. Person needs to understand the place that he is at that time, understand where he's standing, and take the right approach to that. Which means, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here right now, just like in Har Sinai, Matan Torah was beretet uvezia, it was with fear, it was with sweating, it was with retet, people were shaking at that Ma'amad Har Sinai. Same is here when you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Chazal learned for that also when a person reads Kriyat Shema, when a person learns Torah, it should be equivalent to that. The person really needs to understand where he's standing and take the right approach toward that. It's not a regular thing that a person does on a regular event of a day. Rather, when a person is learning Torah, he's holding right now in a high level that he's together with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he needs to do that correctly. He needs to behave accordingly. Interesting that when we go back to last parasha, Parashat Yitro, we found such a question that really doesn't fit one Rashi with the other Rashi. And the question goes as following. Rashi says, the Pasuk says, that when Yitro came to the Midbar, he came to see Am Yisrael, where did he go from and where did he come to? Says the Pasuk, he came into the Midbar, he came into the desert. Says Rashi, Af anu yodim shebamidbar haya. We also know that he was in the desert. Ela בשבחו של יתרו דיבר הכתוב שהיושב בכבודו של עולם ונדבו ליבו לצאת אל המדבר במקום תוהו לשמוע דברי תורה. Over here it says the following. This pasuk comes to praise Yitro. Yitro was sitting בכבודו של עולם. Yitro had a mansion, he had a beautiful house, he had a beautiful car, he had servants, he had anything that he wanted. He was sitting בכבודו של עולם, the highest place in the world. He was very rich, he was very wealthy, he was very successful, honorable, and so on and so forth. Where did he go, says the Pasuk al Midbar, to the desert? Why did he go into the desert? Why would somebody like that go into the lowest place, the hardest place, into the desert? Says Rashi, in order to learn Torah, לשמוע דברי Torah, to hear דברי Torah. בשבחו של יתרו דיבר הכתוב. Again, Rashi says that this comes to praise יתרו, שהיושב בכבודו של עולם, he was sitting in the highest place in the world. ונדבו ליבו לצאת אל המדבר. His heart told him the right thing is to go to the desert in order to hear Torah. So, as soon as he reaches the Midbar and he comes to the camp of Am Yisrael, who comes to greet him? Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu comes out, he gives him kevod melachim, he gives him all the honor necessary, and as soon as he meets him, he starts telling him about all the beautiful things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made to Am Yisrael. ויספר משה לחותנו את כל אשר עשה השם לפרעה למצרים על אודות ישראל, את כל התלאה אשר מצאתם בדרך והצילם השם. Rashi says over here, why was he telling Yitro all these wonderful things? למשוך את ליבו לקרבו לתורה, in order to bring him close to the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu was over here in a mission of Kiruv. Moshe Rabbeinu took that opportunity to do a Kiruv project. He saw Yitro, he said, now I'm going to bring him closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, bring him closer to religion, bring him closer to Torah. Very interesting. In a few psukim before, the Rashi tells us that Yitro was sitting b'chvodo shel olam, v'ndavo libo, his heart told him the right thing is to go and learn Torah. So is that person that made such a decision really needs to be to have a kiruv right now, to bring him closer to religion? This person is already leaving everything. He's leaving everything behind. He comes closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu than anybody else. This person needs lekarvo laTorah. What is Rashi saying over here? This question was asked by the Rosh Yeshiva of Shmuel Birnbaum, Rosh Yeshiva of the Mir. Of Shmuel Birnbaum Zatzal answers the following: when a person comes to learn Torah, but he still feels that he left something behind. בשבחו של יתרו דיבר כתוב that what? שהיושב בכבודו של עולם, he feels he sacrificed, he feels he gave, he feels he has everything, and he gives up everything in order to learn Torah. If a person feels that there's something out there besides Torah, if a person feels the importance of things in compared to Torah, such a person definitely needs kiruv, because such a person is not there yet. If you already learning Torah, you know that kol chavatzecha lo yishvu ba. Nothing is close to the importance of learning Torah. Not only importance as spiritually importance, rather the pleasure and the good feeling that a person gets, the satisfaction, the ana'ah that a person gets by learning Torah overrides any other thing in the world. So if a person still feels that he has something out there, some kind of wealth, some kind of good house, good pleasures outside the Torah, things that are not besides the Torah, a person needs to know that he didn't reach it yet. He didn't get to the Torah levels yet. Torah overrides any other pleasure. And that's why over here, Moshe Rabbeinu, we understood when Yitro tells him, oh, I just left Kvodo Shel Olam, I left everything, all the good things. Why did I leave everything? I wanted to sacrifice in order to come close to Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu understood, no, for Hashem you don't sacrifice. Hashem is kirvat Elokim li tov. This is good over here, nothing else is good. If you don't feel that it's so good over here, so pleasurable over here, that anything else becomes nothing, everything else fades, then you're missing out something. It's not the Torah that you're supposed to be learning. And therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu went to a kiruv project over here. You need to know the following. There's a pasuk in Parashat Dvarim when we talking about bikurim. V'samachta b'chol hatov. The pasuk says that you should rejoice with all the goodness that Hashem gave us. What is the good that Hashem gave us? The Or HaChaim HaKadosh speaks on that. Very famous Or HaChaim HaKadosh. He says, what does that mean, all the good? What could be already good besides Torah? Rather, this is mentioning Torah. This is pointing the Torah. Can't be that the pasuk would praise that people would be happy with all the good. And it means physical good. Physical good, that's not good compared to the real good. And therefore must be this pasuk is talking about that very thing called Torah. Yirmoz el Torah, says Or HaChaim HaKadosh. This comes to hint to the Torah. V'samachta b'chol hatov, you rejoice with all the happiness of the Torah. Ke'omram Zal, en tov el Torah. There's nothing good, say Chazal, besides Torah. Torah is the only good thing. Not that anything else is not good, but compared to the Torah, anything else becomes nothing. It fades. There's nothing there. It evaporates. שאם היו בני אדם מרגישים במתיקות וערבות טוב התורה, if people would feel the pleasure, the good taste of learning Torah, היו משתגעים ומתלהטים אחריה. They would go crazy, they would run after it. ולא יחשב ביניהם מלוא עולם כסף וזהב למאומה. The whole world, all the money, all the gold would be considered to them as nothing at all. Because כי התורה כוללת כל הטובות שבעולם. Torah has in it all the good. If a person learns Torah, he has every good thing that could ever be in the world. He feels that happiness, that satisfaction, that pleasure that he would get from any other thing in the world, and much, much, much more than that. And therefore, Chaim says, the pasuk indicates and comes to hit, v'samachta b'chol hatov, Torah. You'll be rejoicing with the Torah. Interesting, there's a pasuk in Shmuel Bet. There's a parasha in Shmuel Bet, parasha Vav, that over there the Navi tells us that David HaMelech took the Aron Hashem, and took him from one place, he brought him to another place. As the pasuk says, ויקום וילך דוד את כל העם אשר איתו מבעלי יהודה להעלות משם את ארון האלוהים. They wanted to bring the ארון האלוהים, אשר נקרא שם השם צבקות, השם הכרובים עליו. And what did they do with this in order to bring him from point A to point B? והרכיבו את ארון האלוהים אל עגלה חדשה, to put him on a wagon, fancy, beautiful wagon, in order to bring him to the new location. ויסעו מבית אבינדב אשר בגבעה, they bring him from בית אבינדב, ועוזה ואחיו בני אבינדב נוהגים את העגלה החדשה. עוזה ואחיו brought this wagon that was carrying the Aron Elokim. And everybody were dancing in front of the Aron. דוד וכל בית ישראל משחקים לפני אדוני, וכל עצי ברושים, כינורות, נבלים, תופים, and so on and so forth. Everybody were dancing and singing. And at a certain point, וישלח עוזה אל ארון האלוקים ויוחז בו, כי שמתו הבקר. He saw that the Aron was ready to fall, so he came Uzzah to hold on to it. ויחרף השם בעוזה, ויכהו שם אלוהים על השל. HaKadosh Baruch Hu right away killed him on the spot over there. Al Hashal, on this mistake that he made. What mistake is this referring to? That caused David HaMelech to lose Uzzah. So David HaMelech took it very, very hard, as we see from the next pasuk. ויחר לדוד אשר פרץ השם פרץ בעוזה. ויקרא למקום ההוא פרץ עוזה עד היום הזה. David HaMelech was very hurt by that. But what caused him that? What did it happen? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu bring such an occurrence in that special day? Says the Gemara in Sotah Lamed Hey, Darash Rava asked the question, Mipnei ma ne'enash David? Why was David HaMelech punished? This story over here, there was a punish to David HaMelech by killing Uzzah. Why was he punished? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu bring such a story about? The reason, says the Gemara, Mipnei shekara ledivre Torah zemirot. שנאמר, זמירות היו לי חוקיך בבית מגוריי. דוד המלך made a mistake. David HaMelech called the Torah זמירות, songs, music. It's music to my ears. Torah is so special, it's music to my ears. הקדוש ברוך הוא didn't agree with that. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, דברי תורה שכתוב בהם, התעיף עיניך בו ועינינו, אתה קורא אותם זמירות? Torah, it's so delicate that if you move your eyes from learning Torah for a second, right away you forget the Torah. Ta'if enecha bo, you move, you close your eyes, you close your eyes for a second, ve'enenu, you start forgetting the Torah, you start not remembering what you learned before. And therefore such a precious thing, such a delicate thing, such a thing that you need to take with so much importance, such heavy feeling, you call that zemirot, you call that music? How is that possible? אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, דברי תורה שכתוב בהם, התעיף עיניך בו ועינינו, אתה קורא אותם זמירות? You calling it songs, music? הריני מכשילך בדבר שאפילו תינוקות של בית רבן יודעים אותו. And now I'm going to cause you to fail even in things that every little boy in Cheder knows how to read it and what's the explanation. You're going to be mistaken in the most simple thing. The pasuk says, ולבני קהת לא נתן כי עבודת הקודש. The pasuk says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't give Bnei Kehat to carry in any other way. Why? Because Avodat HaKodesh, this Aron needs to be carried with the Badim. Ve'iyu ate be'aglata. Therefore, since HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't give wagons HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't command that it should be carried with wagons, Aron HaKodesh should always be carried with the Batim, with the sticks that surround it, and not with a wagon. And therefore, over here, they made that mistake that they brought Aron HaKodesh with the wagons. Such a simple mistake that David HaMelech forgot at that moment. And therefore, that was a straight result, because he called the Torah, Zmirot ayu li chukecha bevet megurai. Your Torah is like music to my ears, bevet megurai. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, oh, you're calling that Torah music? I'm going to make you now forget the Torah, because Torah is something that as long as you keep your eyes open and learn constantly day and night, you remember and you'll be able to achieve and gain. But the minute you close your eyes, right away you start forgetting. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him that he forgot the very pasuk that it says, Livnei Kehat lo natan, he didn't give them any wagons, ki avodat HaKodesh, they need to carry. They need to carry the Aron with the Badim. And therefore he made that mistake, and that resulted in the killing of Uzzah. But when you take a look in this Chazal, it's very interesting. What was the mistake? What's so bad calling Torah music? Music means I enjoy it as much as I enjoy music. I love Torah. It's music to my ears. Music is a very high spiritual thing. It's a beautiful thing. What's wrong with calling the Torah Zmirot ayu li chukecha? The laws of the Torah is like music. It's beautiful. They keep me going, just like music keeps a person going in a time of sadness, in the hard times, in a time that he needs to rejoice. In good times also, it charms him. It brings him higher levels. What's wrong with that? That is the Torah. The Torah is compared to that. Why not? I was thinking the following. Today we live in a generation that people really need and connect all the time to all kind of entertainments. We have all the time all kind of entertainments. It used to be years ago, few generations ago. Rabbi Chanan Wasserman writes like this, that it used to be that people came from work, the Goyim went to sleep, the Jews went to Bet Midrash to learn. On Sunday, the Goyim went to the bar to drink something, and this was the entertainment on Sunday. Jews got their entertainment from learning Torah at night. This was another form of entertainment, which means it's not entertainment in the meaning of entertainment. It means that a person works all day. When you work all day, you're actually investing and investing and investing. You want to get something back. When is the time that you start living life? You live life when you do something for yourself, not work. Working, you're working and working. You're investing in other things. You're going to build a house. You build that house. You're investing in that house in order to get the money. But when do you live? A Jewish person lives when he goes to Bet Midrash and he learns Torah. That is a form, in other words, of entertainment, which means giving back, taking something for myself. Rav Shimshon Pinkus speaks about this beautifully in Hanukkah as well, with the same idea. Later on, it comes out that there's much more entertainment in the world, and therefore a person comes from work at night, and today entertainment is available in the house. They come to the house and they have all kind of different entertainments for people to be busy with at night. Today already, with the technology, people are busy with entertainment many hours during the day. Before going to shul, after going to shul, in between, people take their phone, they open it. Of course it's wrong, but this is the way people live. They, before work, after work, in the break, they go to all kind of places. They always pick up their phone, they check what text they got, what the people said. This is by them something that's a form of entertainment. Over here, we need to understand there's two kinds of things in the world. One is giving and one is taking, receiving. Entertainment is a form of receiving. During the day I gave, I made, I work, I toiled. At night I sit behind and I look at the screen and now I'm relaxed. Or another way to do it is listen to the music. I sit at night, I open the music, and I don't have to do anything. I can relax. The music comes to my ear. He does everything for me. It comes to me. Learning Torah, on the other hand, is totally different. Learning Torah, one would be able to reach the highest level of pleasure, just like entertainment reaches pleasure. But Torah reaches even much higher pleasure. But the difference between Torah and music, or Torah and other kinds of entertainment than music, that's this very point that I'm saying. All other entertainment, you sit behind and you receive. In Torah, you can't sit behind and receive anything. You have to toil, you have to work, you have to learn, you have to put yourself into it. You have to make the time and put the effort. You have to come in and put your 100% into it. And when you put 100% of yourself into learning Torah, that's when the pleasure of Torah comes to be felt. This is what the Or HaChaim is talking about. That if people would feel the pleasure of learning Torah, the high level of pleasure of learning Torah, they would feel it then. When is it then? After they toil, after they work, after they put their effort, that's when they would reach that high level. And that is the complaint that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to David HaMelech. You calling the Torah Zmirot Hayu Li Chukecha? You saying Torah is compared to music? Music is something you sit behind and you receive. Although you're right, the pleasure you might be able to compare to music. Although Torah pleasure is much higher. But it's the same aspect, it's a spiritual level. But in music, all you have to do is press a button and listen. That's all, you have nothing to do. Torah, if you sit down in a shiur and you have your coffee and your cookies and you have listening and your mind is wondering about your day's doings, nothing is doing. You're not going to get the pleasure of Torah and you're not going to get the high level that this Torah has to offer you. Torah is totally different. It's something that you have to come in and put your full heart into it. You have to work hard to get that. And therefore, that's a complaint of those words. Mirot hayu li chukecha, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Divrei Torah shekatuv bהם, התעיף עיניך בו ועינינו. How could you call that divrei Torah זמירות? אתה קורא להם זמירות? That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu made him fall in that very thing, to hint him that this is the mistake he made. What is it? בעגלות. Where did David HaMelech put the Aron HaElokim? On the Agala. Why is that? Because Aron HaElokim has to be carried. Babadim. Why they need to be carried babadim? They don't need to be carried babadim in the sticks. You don't need to carry them. Is Aron נושא את נוסף כל שכן את עצמו. Aron doesn't need to be carried. Aron carries itself. He carries even those that carry him. But a person needs to toil. He needs to work. He needs to carry it. Although you could put it on a wagon and let the wagons carry the Torah, that's exactly what you're not supposed to do. Let the Torah be carried by itself while you sit behind, that's totally wrong. Therefore, we learn from here that the highest level of pleasure in the world is only to be there, to be achieved by working hard towards it. There was a Rav of one of the Rosh Yeshivot of Hebron, Rav Aaron Cohen. He went to the Chazon Ish and he asked him, how could you be kovesh ta'avat achila? How could you conquer the pleasure, the ana'ah and the ta'ava of eating? I have ta'ava. People have ta'ava of eating. They have such a desire to eat. How do you actually conquer that desire? Chazon Ish told him a wonderful, wonderful idea. He told him, regularly you can't. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was tovea. He puts in every person such a feeling that he has ta'avat achila. He needs that food, and that food comes together with the ta'ava, with the desire to eat the food. But there is a way. What is the way? If you can actually fade that with something else. If you have, for instance, a certain ice cream that's not so good, and you eat that on a regular basis every day, you love that ice cream, you eat it, you're very happy with it. One day your friend comes and gives you an ice cream that's much, much better. High quality ice cream. Once you start tasting that, you forget about the first ice cream, because you said the first ice cream is not compared to this, it's nothing at all like this. The second ice cream made the first ice cream pleasure went away, go away, disappear. Therefore, over here also, if you put yourself into learning Torah and you get the pleasure that the Torah has to offer somebody that toils in the Torah, that's amel, works in learning Torah, that overcomes and fades, and the whole thing of Ta'avat Achila goes away. And Na'im Advarim Lemisha Amaram, the Chazon Ish, is known that he didn't feel any of those pleasures. He was all day learning Torah. He was in the world of pleasure of Torah. Person that learns Torah is not getting Olam Haba only in Olam Haba. He's getting Olam Haba in Olam Hazeh, because learning Torah is the highest of levels of pleasure that you can ever get. And this is what Yitro was missing. Yitro thought he's bechvodo shel olam. He was bechvodo shel olam, and they come to sacrifice for the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu told them, come, Rabbi mekarev you to the Torah. Let me get you a little bit kiruv project over here. Let me get you closer to the Torah. Lekarvo le Torah. Why is that? Because you're missing the point. You didn't feel the Torah yet. This is what happens in our parasha as well, as we said. In our parasha, those Na'arei Israel, Vayal Moshe ואהרון נדב ואביהו 70 מזקני ישראל. What did they do over there, אצילי בני ישראל? ויחזו את עולים ואכלו וישתו. If you, when you're learning Torah, when you connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're busy eating, drinking, you think that you can sit down there, sit out there, and the ruchniut would come to you, you are definitely mistaken. ויחזו את האלוקים is a responsibility for us, from us, to come closer and to toil and to work and to get closer and closer. That's a message to each and every one of us. When we learn Torah, it needs to be with full heart. When we put ourselves to learning Torah, it's only about Torah right now. Adam ki yamut be'oel. אין דברי תורה מתכוונים אליהם שמי שמשים עצמו כמת, which means כמדבר, כמת, which means a person needs to know there's nothing else. If the person feels there's nothing else, eventually he reaches that high level of the Torah. Tov, and Tov el HaTorah, v'samachta b'chol HaTov. Thank you very much. We'll be back after the song with your questions in the studio.